Hey guys, today we are taking a look at ACOG's video about him quitting Summoners War. He is a fellow Summoners War content creator. He streams on Twitch very often as well, so a lot of you guys might know him. And he is officially quitting Summoners War. And a lot of people have been asking me about my opinion on this matter. So today we're going to take a look at this video about why he's quitting, and I will give my thoughts about it. By the way, I'm watching at 1.5 speed because my TikTok brain needs the thing to be a bit faster.
As you guys saw the title, the thumbnail, it is true. It's not a clickbait. I'm quitting the game by the end of the month, by the end of the year. And today I just want to talk a little bit about why I'm doing it, what I'll be doing later, and just some general things and answer some questions that I've seen people ask me lately on my stream, mostly, because I have been talking about it.
So very similar to Jubago, he's also quitting by the end of the year, probably after all the events end, pretty much trying to ride it out till the end of the year to see if Comters change the game. But I think nothing really changes Summoners, so let's be real. Also, before I listen to anything, okay, just about quitting in general, if you manage to quit Summoners War, I am very happy for you. And I'm not making a joke. I'm serious. Even though this is a hobby, a passion that we share, if you can actually quit this thing, aka one of the biggest addiction that you might have, it's great. This is equivalent to smoking, drugs, I don't know. Game company spend millions of dollars to make you addicted to Summoners War in general. Because the more addicted you are, the harder for you to quit, and the more likely you're going to spend money. So if the game is having negative effect on your life, please, okay, please quit the game. Or take a break. I don't know, whatever you prefer.
My stream. Basically, I'm leaving because I'm not having as much fun anymore playing the game. I think the game's gotten really stale, and yeah, I am tired of Contos not listening to anything, basically, and just doing what they do, everything on their own, you know, even though they're kind of clueless about many things about the game, you know. Siege, RTA, Arena, all these contents are very stale. The balance patches are almost non-existent every single time. The new unit releases are really shit every time. When I say really shit, I don't mean the designs and stuff like that. It's just that the monsters suck, right? And it takes ages and ages for stuff to be usable. So I don't want to wait anymore, okay? I don't want to wait anymore. It's become a waiting simulator, and I think a lot of people feel this way. And I want to have a future. I want to try to do something.
Okay, so far, I don't disagree with anything, okay? I think we can all agree to literally everything that he has said. The game is very stale. The Siege, the RTA meta is kind of stale. And Comters seem like they have no communication with the community whatsoever. And they just do their own thing in their own bubble with no roadmap, no plan sharing with community, no nothing. So they just do whatever the fuck they want. And right now, the meta is just sad and depressed, and he doesn't want to play the game anymore. And I think you can agree as well, but I think it is pretty much the general feeling for every long-running game, like let's say League of Legends or Dota 2 or whatever competitive game that you play that has been running for a long, long time. There's always going to be that group of players who are very burnt out and very depressed playing the game, but they still play the game every single day because it is a habit. And it's not even a habit out of their own choice. The game designer make it so that they play the game so much every day, they're so addicted, and now it is a habit that they can't break, and they fucking hate it. And it is even worse for content creators because we play the game a bit more than an average player. We have to think about the game more often because we want to make content about the game. And the more you play, the more burnt out you're going to be. And you know what's worse? Playing RTA while people are watching, giving you direction on how you should play your RTA and all that stuff, it will burn you even faster than playing on your own in your pajamas in your bedroom, just losing an RTA in silence. But now you have to lose, give a reaction to it, and listen to the feedback of other people at the same time. So I definitely get what he's saying right here. But also, to say that the game doesn't change It's not really that true because if you compare the game right now to the game at the same time last year, for example, the meta last time was probably going to be different. The meta in Siege was probably going to be different. It's just that in this game, the meta changed very slowly compared to other competitive game. For example, they are more aggressive with their buff and nerf because you have access to all the playable characters. Like right now, I'm really addicted to Marvel Rivals, and I can play any character I want, and they nerf or buff any character that I usually play. I can just practice a different character. But in Summoners War, you don't have access to everything. If the only things you have, the only LD file you have get nerfed, you don't have a choice to play the other good things that they buff. You just sit there, suck it up, and maybe quit. I don't know. So I think that's why they are very sort of careful with buffing and nerfing unit in the game, or they do it very, very slowly, which will piss off a lot of players who want change and want change very quickly in the game because our attention span is shit, right? Back then, for the whole year of 2014, 2015, you can play with the same fucking meta in Summoners War and you couldn't give a shit. But nowadays, you want meta to change every 2 months aggressively all the fucking time because now a lot of people have many units in the game and they just want things to change constantly, which is also, I guess it's fine. Like you want change in your game, but I feel like computers can't really do much in a short amount of time. And it is what it is. If you accept to play this game, you accept that meta change very slowly. They will change, but they will change very slowly moving forward. About the part of computers just do their own thing and doesn't really give a shit about community, it's kind of true and kind of don't. I think most of the time they don't really give a shit to be they don't care. They do improve the game from time to time with quality of life patches, but I think it is because we don't have like a big game changing patch. So we just feel like nothing really changed, even though quality of life keep getting added into the game. This game has one of the best quality of life ever. I think I can say that. When I play all the turn-based games that are available in the market, I miss the quality of life, the ease of changing runes, the ease of farming in this game allow me to manage my resources so much better compared to the other things in the other game. But then quality of life is like a convenience thing. So it's not game changing. It's not game breaking. It doesn't change the way you play the game every day. So it feels like nothing really happened. And it's kind of true. Nothing really big happened this year besides just packs and new unit and more new unit and collab, which is just new unit. And the new unit are shit all the time, which is Compto's classic at this point. So I agree with what he said. And I just want to give some extra points in that regards.
That's gonna help me grow in the future, you know. And yeah, I think with Summoners War, it's pretty much impossible, you know. There's kind of a wall that you reach, and that's it, you know. We have a community that's like not that big, right? Like we all know each other. We're all it's a pretty small community, right? And I know when I switch to whatever else I'm going to do, I know many people won't follow, you know, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. You watch what you enjoy watching, and yeah, I know I'm gonna lose a lot of viewership, and I'm not afraid. Okay, I'm on the other side. I'm very excited to do something else, you know. But yeah, Comtois has just not been caring too much about anyone's thoughts, and yeah, they don't care about what players think, what streamers, YouTubers think. This year, they didn't even like care to fly out some of the very like active influencers to like their EU Cup. I know some other people as well, but me personally, I wasn't invited to the EU Cup. I wasn't invited to the World Finals. I wasn't invited to anything, while being one of the most active and one of the biggest number-wise content creators for them, right? And yeah, they just don't care, you know. The fact that they just completely overlooked so many of the people, and especially for this 10th year anniversary where it's like supposed to be such a big thing, and they're supposed to thank the people for sticking up with them for such a long time, right? Yeah, they just completely ignored, right? Many of us influencers, and yeah, it's definitely not a company that I look up to, and it's not really a game that I want to continue making content for, you know. on the other side, like the Comptos guys are very nice. Like the I've been in touch with the EU headquarters, like the people that work there. They're very nice people, like from the marketing and all these guys that do social media and stuff, like really cool people, you know. But it's something that comes from the HQ, right? Allocating money for something like that, flying out people and stuff like that. But yeah, if they're not caring about that, imagine how much they care about us advising them about game changes. I mean, yeah, Comptos is just a company that doesn't really care about anyone. And yeah, that's another reason why I really don't want to keep making content other than the game being really stale.
Okay, for the second reason, I think there were two parts to what he was saying. The first one being there's no growth in making content for Summoners War, which I can kind of agree. I think the game has reached a point where there is barely any new player coming into the game, which means no new player searching for beginner guides, for example, no new player discovering the content on YouTube. It's just all people who already know who you are and who come back, quit, come back, all that kind of stuff. So there's no real growth for the game. The game just kind of declining, I think, since like 2018, 2019, the peak of Summoners, or the peak of Summoners content on YouTube as well. After that, it just kind of slowly declined. Personally, for me though, I have seen growth, but not like crazy growth. I think I've been doing okay. I've seen growth from year to year. I thought that maybe 2021 was my highest views year, for example, but somehow this year the views has been insane. But that is because I think of the anniversary, the collab, and all that kind of stuff. But I think personally, there's like no future growth for making Summoners or content. It's just kind of like a flat line, a very consistent sort of okay flat line for me personally. Not for him though, for sure, because he's not feeling any growth doing this, which I agree. If you really want to grow like super fast, you find a new game and you go all in on that game. You'll be the best player in that new game, and everyone who start playing that game will watch you, regardless of who you are, where you start from. It doesn't matter. You can have 0 subscriber, but if you are like the best player in that new game, then everyone will be watching you. Everyone will be looking forward to your opinion on all the things in the game. And I think if he want to grow, he definitely need to find a new game and just go all in. That's pretty much it. The second one being come to us inviting people to events. So I was invited, so I guess I can't really say much about it because I was invited. But listening to that really reminds me of me many, many years ago. So I was a small channel. Back then, it was YDCB, it was Childish, Claytano, Shredded Puzzle, Island Grown, all the big names out there. I was making content on the side. I think I had like 10K sub at some point, and I was not invited to shit. I was just sitting at home, same exact mentality, very salty. I hated it. I hated being the outsider, looking at everybody being invited to all these cool events, starting with Mobile Master, the first SWC, the second SWC. I was just sitting at home watching from afar. And the worst part is I'm an English-speaking content creator. I used to live in Singapore. I was hitting the 2 checkbox that YDCB hit, which means if they have to bring somebody from fucking far away, there's no way I will ever be in any list whatsoever. So I wasn't invited to any of the thing. So I was sad. I was salty. I think I was especially very jealous of like Island Grown. I think I started first, but then Island Grown grew so much faster than me. And he was being invited to all the cool events. He was casting World Final in Paris. And I was just sitting at home. And he was in America. So flying him to all the cool events was so much cheaper than flying my ass from Asia. Like, who cares about the SeanB guy, right? But the good thing for me was that was back then. So the game had so many more years to go. So I just kept my head down, keep grinding, keep working on it. And then eventually, YDCB started making less Summoners a video. Island Grown started making Pokemon content. Shredded Puzzle just disappeared out of nowhere. And boy, oh boy, my time to shine, baby. I started going to events and shit. Hell yeah. I guess you just have to keep making content, and then you be big enough that they can't really ignore you. That's the only way, pretty much. Because at the end of the day, I think Comters doesn't really give a shit. They say they give a shit, but I believe that they don't really give a shit about who make content about this game. There's so many other mobile games that make so much money, and there are barely any content creator for those kind of game, and they still makes so much money. I don't think Comters really care about, like, if SeanB quit tomorrow, there's gonna be another guy that showed up and fill his shoe anyway. Who cares about that guy? I think the people who really care are the people who work in the regional office, like the EU office, the America office. They care, all right? They care about community. They push for the community to be invited to these events. The headquarters, I'm not too sure, but I know the people at the regional office, they really give a shit. They care, but they have a budget. And let's say for the EU Cup, I was there, right? I was very lucky to be there, to invite my ass to be over there. They could invite 5 other people in the European region. So much cheaper. But then, if someone pushed for me to be there, then suddenly, shit, this fucking SeanB guy is so expensive. I guess ACOG's not going. I'm sorry, ACOG. Partly my fault, probably, because my ass is so far away anyway. It is what it is. I was in his shoe. I was salty, so I kind of get it.
What I will be doing for the future, I will still be streaming, okay? And not just like streaming. I'm gonna go hard, okay? I'm planning to transition to Counter-Strike, okay? If you guys watch Counter-Strike, if you play the game,
okay, for next part, it's not really about summoners. Well, he just want to make content for Counter-Strike. He want to go all in on that game. He really enjoy playing Counter-Strike. So if you want to support ACOG, please follow his new channel, or he might post on his current channel, and support him, because going into a new territory is very, very nerve-wracking. It's scary to dive into something entirely new and kind of abandon the ship that you has been sailing on for so long. And it sucks, but if you really want to support ACOG, please check out his either new channel that he will announce, or follow his current channel for his new content. Personally, I don't think this is going to change anything in the community. Of course, there are people who will quit together with ACOG to move on to the new venture, or to just move on from summoners, and ACOG will help them to give them the motivation that they need to quit the game. And I think that's fine. That's cool. If the game, once again, is leaving negative impact on your life, you should break away from it. You should quit. I've seen many of my friends quit this game successfully, and I'm very happy with them because they just seem happier than ever. They're not concerned about farming every day like a fucking slave. They're not concerned about doing RTA, getting proc on by Ragdoll or Gapsu or Velaju. They're just having fun, playing other games and just having a blast. And that is very, very cool. Okay? If you play this game, make sure there's some part of the game that you enjoy, so that it is not a total waste of time and it makes you angry every day. Other than that, hope you have a good start to the new year. Happy holidays, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.